Vedic administration. Administration means where there are two things. In administration, there are two things. One, administrator, and another which is to be administered. But in Vedic administration, this duality doesn't exist. Veda means knowledge, and knowledge of total natural law. It means when Veda is knowledge and knowledge of absolute, knowledge of total natural law. And because the duality doesn't exist in totality, it means when Vedic administration happens, then what happens? This is not the duality. This administer and administrator, the administered and the administrator, because they live on the same plane, they are interrelated, integrated. They are established in the same totality, same consciousness. So what happens? Then in that level, there is nobody who administers and there is nobody who is administered. It is simply impulse of administrator, all the impulse of receiver, where no giver, no taker is there. It is simply that consciousness which is established in totality. There is no duality. Every consciousness is established in that totality, and because that totality has infinite organizing power. So what happens? Every consciousness is lively in its own values, lively in its own totality. So whatever happens, whatever things are to be achieved, all the impulses, all the initiative for the goals are, number one, holistic, number two, self-disciplined, number three, initiative is taken by the self itself, every individual itself, and because that self, all the small self, all the atmas, all the individual consciousness, every consciousness is established in the same totality. So what happens? What totality wants, that impulse naturally happens in all individuals without giving any direction. All the perfect initiative is taken by every individual, and this is called Vedic administration. In Vedic administration, nothing is administered, nothing is being administered, or nothing is going to be administered. Nobody is doing that. Everything happens on the being level. It happens so spontaneously. Like there is a description of Ramraj. In the description of Ramraj, it is such a beautiful description. It is described that in Ramraj, everybody was expecting from Rama that he should give instruction. everybody was ready to take instructions from Rama. But the thing is that he is not giving instructions, but everybody is following the instructions of totality. All the cows were giving milk on its own. All the clouds were giving rain as per the requirement, as per the wish. All the desires were fulfilled spontaneously. Nobody was instructing anybody. Nobody was taking instruction. Nobody was giving instruction. Everything was happening so spontaneously. Why? Because the ruler created such an environment, such an atmosphere, such an ambience, so that everybody was absolutely alert, absolutely self-initiative taking personalities. Everybody was doing. It is very well said in Ramraj that everybody was in everybody's own dharma. It means that everybody was aware of their dharma. What is their duty? What should they do? How should they do it? So that they are doing, and this doing was not doing. This was being with the nature. And because they were established yogastha in everybody, there is a word used for Ramraj, samasit. Samasit means sama means samatva, equality. Asit means asit is made from asana, to sit. So everybody was established in that equality, in samatva. Samatva is a very beautiful word. When it is used in the definition of a swastha, healthy person in Ayurveda, it says samadosha samagnisha samadhatu manakriya prasan atma indrimana swasthitta vidhiyate. Samadosha samagnisha samadhatu. It means samadosha. It should be samatva in all doshas. Samadhatu, samagni, all types of tissues, all types of doshas, vata, pitta, kapha, and all types of agni. It should be samatva. It should be in absolute harmony, balanced state. So when it is used in the term of physiology or term of medical science, term of Ayurveda, then it plays a beautiful role. It tells about beautiful harmony, balanced state. When it is used for spirituality, samadhi, that samatva, that absolute alignment with, attunement with natural laws. So this samatva is very beautiful word. So in Ramraj, everybody was established in samatva, samasit. So it means that when Lord Rama created everything by his own living, he presented everything by the living life like that, living in that high discipline, in highest values of all dimensions of life. Then his life itself became teaching. It was never required by Rama to teach something in that way, in which a normal supervisor dictates in the loud terms to laborers. It was silent administration from the divine level. his whole life was a preaching itself, and everybody was aligned with that totality, with that absolute highest level of values of life, highest level of discipline, highest level of when anybody is in tune with nature, when anybody is yogastha guru karmani, as in Gita it is said, when anybody is aligned with natural laws, when everything happens or starts, everybody lives life as a being, and in that being everything becomes so spontaneously disciplined, perfect, so that a result automatically comes, which is ideal, perfect, holistic, and nourishing. There is no instruction given, there is no loud instruction given, there is no violence on any level, whether speech or action. There is nobody is loud, nobody is shouting on anybody, nobody is giving instructions like a lower level supervisor to a laborer. It is divine administration. It is divine administration. It is silent administration. It is administration which is done on absolute level, where nobody instructs anybody. Everybody is established in its own self, which is aligned and in tuned by the bigger self, which is established by all unified values. So everybody thinks holistically, acts holistically, and as a result is achieved holistically, which is flawless, and the whole happening, the whole work is done in absolute flawless manner, and the result is flawless, result is holistic, result is always complete, which nourishes, which makes every individual blissful, society blissful, and because it is nourishing absolute natural law on all levels, physical, mental, spiritual, of every individual consciousness, as well as group consciousness, as well as consciousness of whole nature. So, anything which is done by the Vedic administration, no administration is done there, only every consciousness is established in such a beautiful manner that everybody participates in all activities in beautifully, blissfully, holistically, in totality. And because if everybody is involved blissfully, and blissfully means holistically. If somebody is following somebody in fear, it means the part of the personality is with that master. If a person is performing blissfully, then it is not partially with the master, it is absolutely with the master. In totality is with the master. Holistically is with the master. With whole potential, with complete potential. When a person is fearless, then his or her complete initiative starts working, If somebody is in fear, then only superficial activity is done, only essential activity is done, all the potential, all the initiative is hidden inside. Because a person who is in fear is not open, absolutely open. And a person is fearless, a person is confident, a person is blissfully happy, then everybody starts giving, everybody is whole, complete creativity, complete initiative, complete potential, and whether it is physical, mental, or spiritual. So a blissful performer is always a best performer. And if thought is blissful, then action has to be blissful. And when action is blissful, it means action is in totality. And when action is in totality, then what will happen? Result has to be in totality. Result has to be in holistic manner. And that result will be complete, holistic, and perfect in all dimensions. It will nourish individual, it will nourish society, it will nourish nature also. So that is the beauty of Vedic administration, where the person who is Vedic administrator doesn't indulge directly or on direct instructions. The person who is indulged in Vedic administration, who understands Vedic administration, creates such an atmosphere that without giving any direction, everybody follows the totality, that direction which is holistic. And how it can happen? It will happen when everybody's consciousness is absolutely aware, absolutely happy, absolutely blissful. Then everybody will take his or her own initiative on every plane, and holistically everybody will be involved in every action. And when every action is backed by totality, then result has to be in totality, which will be perfect from all dimensions. And this is the outcome of Vedic administration. And Vedic administration, Veda means knowledge, and administration doesn't require duality. No administrator or administered is there. Everybody is unified in that totality, and that is the beauty of one Vedic administrator, that like Ramraj, that person doesn't give any instruction like a supervisor to a labor. That administrator, Vedic administrator, creates that beautiful atmosphere where, like Rama, everybody seeks instruction from Rama, but Rama's life itself was such a message that all the cows were giving milk, as per demand, and every cloud was giving rain as per the demand, and every desire was fulfilled because everybody was fulfilled. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing said there, that like Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, there are 4 things to get anything done. But here it is said in Ramraj that Dand means punishment, and Dand means stick also. So it is said that nowhere, Dand was available nowhere. Dand was only with the sannyasis. As sannyasi, they have a stick, So Dand was not seen anywhere. It is so beautifully said that there was no punishment, because in Ramraj, everybody was blissfully performing. Everybody knew their dharma, what their duties are, and that can only happen when everybody is so blissful, happy, and everybody knows their duty, and when anybody is not in fear, and everybody is given full recognition, full support, full confidence, then everybody functions on the level of totality. And that is the Vedic administration. And that's why in Ramraj, nobody was punished. Nobody was instructed like that. Everybody was taking initiative from its own level, and things were absolutely holistic, compound, totally perfect. And that is the beauty of Vedic administration.